Hall County Sports is also brought to you in part by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals, and remember, when you go Green Ford. By Turner Wood & Smith, serving the insurance needs of our area for over 100 years. And by McKever Road United Methodist Church on McKever Road in Oakwood. Loving Christ, loving people, and helping people love Christ. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Hall County Sports Television. I'm your host, Gary Glenn. Now, since last week's show was devoted to the Fellowship of Christian Athletes signing day from Longstreet Cafe, we're going to be playing catch-up for a couple of weeks. And we'll start this edition of HCS TV off with tournament basketball. And Johnson's boys team entered the region tourney at a perfect 24-0, but had to survive a regular season double overtime encounter with Stevens County along the way. Now, in the 8-4A region tournament, Johnson overcame some foul trouble to win the rematch with Stevens, 71-50. Ty Cockfield had 28 points for the Knights. The North Hall guys sidelined Madison County 63-53 to face Johnson in the 8-4A semifinals. Brock Wingo had 19 for the Trojans, and Buford sent Chester T's boys home for the season with a 12-14 record after a Wolf 54-33 win. Now, in the semifinal matchup, Johnson beat North Hall 68-59, coming from 4 down at the half. Cockfield scored 30. Carson Heinen scored 18 for the Trojans in that one. And then Johnson went on to repeat as region champions with a win over Buford 81-69. Cockfield had 27 and Rod English 22 points. After a loss to Monroe area, North Hall will enter the boys state tournament as a 4 seed. Johnson, as region champion, will enter as a 1 seed. Okay, now let's go to East Hall's boys. They were perfect in Region 7 AAA play with a 12-0 mark and a 20-5 overall record. Now, that region mark put them all the way into the semifinals against Franklin County. That game was not close, as the Vikings whipped the Lions 86-58. Jacqueline Hopkins scored 18, including a 3 from around half court, we hear. Kevon Davenport scored 16 for the Vikings. Banks County at that tournament ended West Hall's year 58-41. Spartans were 3-23 this season. Banks then beat Lumpkin to face East Hall for the region championship, and that one went the Vikings' way 83-62, as Davenport had a monster game, 37 points and 17 rebounds. Okay, to the 8-5A tournament. Cedar Shoals ended the Flowery Branch boys season with a 40-37 win. Hunter Konashevsky, though, almost sent it to overtime with a 3-pointer. He finished with 11 for the Branch, and they'll end the season with a winning record at 14-12. Gainesville won its quarterfinal match with Salem 58-57. DeMarcus Simon's steal with 2.9 seconds left helped seal the deal. He missed the free throw, but Salem couldn't get anything off but a desperation fling, and Simons led in that game with 24 points. The Elephants then ran into Cedar Shoals and suffered a 67-57 loss in the semis, Simons scoring 22 in that game, and then the Elephants lost to Appalachia, and they will enter the playoffs as a 4 seed. Now, Riverside had a losing record in the regular season, but they did stage a comeback win over Washington Wilkes on senior night, 57-46. They were knocked out in the region tournament by Rabun County 76-60. Avery Cagle leading the Eagles with 21 points there. Chris Howard popped for 19, and the Eagles will end the season at 6-16. In 8 single A, Lakeview Academy beat Athens Academy 60-58. Trey Gober had a double-double for the Lions, 21 points and 10 rebounds. The Lions lost out in the semifinals, though, to Athens Christian 90-55. Gober scored 17, as Lakeview will now await word on the private school state power rankings for their state tournament standings. Now, in a different league of high school basketball, North Georgia Christian's boys went 22-9 entering their playoffs. They took the first round of the GICAA playoffs with a win over Heritage Christian Academy, 85-65. That one, Norris Rediger popped for 24 with Chris Palmer scoring 21 and Justin Law 15. And then the Chargers lost to Dawson Christian Academy for the region title. David Roberts, the coach for the Chargers. We bring him to the show now. Thank you very much for coming in, David. Appreciate it. And good to see you again. Now, you mentioned the fact that you were on a few years ago when you guys won the state championship.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me back. That was back in 2011. We've had good teams since, but we're hoping to make another run this year.
Well, you mentioned the fact that you've been in the Final Four every year since then?
Yes, sir, every year.
Wow, that's quite an accomplishment. You've kind of set the standard.
We've got a pretty good program over at North Georgia Christian for basketball. It's a basketball school. We've got a lot of players, and all the boys look forward to joining the team, and it's been fun.
You're 23-10. Now, that's a good record by anybody's stretch of the imagination. What kind of style do the Chargers play? Before we turn the cameras on, Coach Roberts mentioned that he does a lot of platooning, so you got a lot of bodies.
Well, my assistant coach loves Kentucky, and he was talking all about how Calipari's running the platoons up in Lexington this year. And I came into the season, I have 10 or 11 guys that can really play. It's a lot of mouths to feed. So we just decided early on we're going to press the whole game, man-to-man, full court, and we're going to see if other teams are as conditioned as we are. So we'll go 5-5, and sometimes we don't quite do the full 5-on-5 like Calipari started doing now, but we sub a lot. We've got a lot of guys that can play ball. We're very deep, and we've won a lot of basketball games in the fourth quarter just because we're deeper.
Well, sometimes I've noticed that in sports like this, you may not be the best team at the beginning of the game, but if you're in shape, you may just be the best team by the end of the game.
Yeah, that's happened with us quite a bit. We're not tired in the fourth quarter. We're ready to go.
Well, I mentioned some names. I mentioned Rediger and Palmer and Law, and they seem to figure in just about every time I read about you guys as far as scoring is concerned. But who else has been doing it for you?
Man, well, Norris Rediger has been our key man. He's broken the single-season scoring record this year. So he's averaging 14 points and 13 rebounds a game.
A double-double.
Yes, sir. Chris Palmer has been our point guard, and he's played great. He's really come on the last couple of weeks. He's been close to a couple of triple-doubles. And Justin has really come on. Actually, Justin comes off the bench. He's our heat check guy. We call him Jamal because he comes in firing from the bench. So those guys have scored well. But, really it's all those guys, all 10 of those boys contribute. So they've done well.
What's the makeup of the team, David, as far as your juniors, seniors?
We're top heavy for sure. We have 6 seniors and 8 juniors. 2 of those seniors start and 3 of those juniors start.
So a lot of leadership, people who've been there before.
Lots of leadership, guys that are used to winning.
Man, that makes such a difference. I was talking to some of the wrestlers, and I asked him, I said, how much of this is mental? He said, it's 90%. As far as that concerned, it's kind of the people who, and I read a quote one time that said, everybody wants to win, but who has the will to win? Who wants to do what it takes? But these people know what it takes.
Well, we've been winning for a long time, and they just refuse to lose. They know what it's like. They know what it takes, and when it comes crunch time, they just like doing it.
Do they hate to lose more than they like to win? I mean, sometimes that's a big difference, huh?
Yeah, it's hard to comfort those boys. Me too, me included. After losses, it's hard to look at them. Like Dawson, for example, has beaten us 4 times this year, and every time we play them, we think we're going to beat them. It's just it's no fun to lose. We don't like it.
David, I know you've been around basketball for a while now, and you've coached other athletes and been around other athletes. How would you compare your league, what is it called, the Georgia Independent Christian Schools?
We are GICAA, yes, sir.
Of Alabama, and it's not the Alabama league.
No,
then.
sir. It's GICAA. They actually just started this league 2 years ago.
Okay.
They've actually got more schools than GISA does right now. So they're kind of an up-and-coming league, but it is for smaller Christian schools like North Georgia Christian. We've got 180 kids K through 12, and only 50 of those are in the high school. Now, if my team could go play probably Region 8A basketball, we wouldn't win the thing, but we could be competitive. Where our schools get in trouble when you compare us to Georgia high schools is we can't compete in the other things that we want to offer. If we want to offer baseball, if we want to offer soccer, if we want to offer golf, we'd have a hard time competing across the board, Georgia high school, and you're either all in or all not.
Yeah,
so,
particularly things like you used to play 7-man football, but you're having to give that up.
Yes, sir. We just ran out of players.
Wow.
And we'd never be able to play Georgia high school football. We don't have enough guys.
So what's up next for you now?
Well, we've made the state quarterfinals. We play the number 1 seed out of the West region. It's Grace Christian Academy. We play them on Saturday at 5:30. I think we'll handle them. At least I hope we will.
Can't look too far ahead, but
no,
you got to be confident, though.
From all my scouting reports, it seems like we are the better team. If we win that, we play Tuesday in the Final Four, and if we win that, we'll probably match up with Dawson in the state championship game Friday the 27th.
Well, that's the way to do this. Then, I mean, you could seriously have the best 2 teams in the state in the same region.
More than likely, that's what's happened this year. More than likely.
What's it going to take to beat these guys? You've played them 4 of your 10 losses to the same team.
Yeah, they're good. I've got to do a better job as a coach. I've tried a couple things defensively that just flat out didn't work and cost us some points. we got to shoot the ball better. The last 2 times we've lost to Dawson, I think we shot 27%. And then 29% from the field. You just can't beat anybody shooting 29% from the field. So we got to shoot the ball better. Part of that's because their defense is so good. But I know we're capable of doing better, and we can beat them. It's just a matter of if we're on the right night.
All right. Well, good luck Saturday, and from then on the state tournament, we'll trust you win on Saturday. And come back and tell us how you do. Okay?
Well, I'd love to do it.
All right. David Roberts,
Thank you.
North Georgia Christian. And we want to thank Coach David Roberts once again for coming in. Now, the Georgia Independent Christian Athletic Association, their league, has pretty much taken over for that other league I mentioned, which had involved some Alabama schools. So I mentioned that during the interview. Well, in any event, that's going to cover the basketball boys. Now, on the girls' side, no local region champions, although Flowery Branch went into the tournament with a 12-1 region record in 8-5A, and Lakeview's Lady Lions were 12-1 in Region 8 Single A. The Branch ladies did win their regional quarterfinal, 58-50 over Cedar Shoals, but lost their semifinal match to Salem. The Gainesville girls winning in the quarters by a point. They squeezed by Clark Central 44-43. And the Branch ladies, as I said, lost in the semis, 52-47 the score to Salem, and Gainesville fell to Loganville 49-44 in overtime. In the third place game, the Lady Elephants beat the Branch girls 45-39. Taylor Hawks, an all-tournament pick, scored 18 for GHS. Julianne Sutton had 15 for the Lady Falcons. Okay, in the 7 AAA tournament, East Hall's girls had 4 girls in double figures as they beat Fannin County 76-43. Lady Vikings played their way into the title game with a 57-48 win over Banks County after they had been swept by the Lady Leopards during the regular season. And then the Lady Vikes fell in the title game to unbeaten Dawson County 51-45. Earlier, West Hall had ended their season at 11-15 on the year after a loss to Franklin County. In 8-4A, Chesterton's girls survived a 20-19 low-scoring affair with White County to earn the right to face North Hall. The Lady Trojans a 79-46 winner over North Oconee. Kinsey Gillespie had 19 and Katie Sayers 18 in that game. Lady War Eagles won their rematch with the Lady Trojans 54-41. Kayla Watson, who scored 7 against White, had 11 for Chesterton, and Brooklyn Popham had 15. Taylor Ann Kelly of North Hall led all, scoring with 19. The Lady Eagles then lost to Buford 26-10 in the championship game. Okay. Turning to the 8 Single A tournament, Lakeview's girls waxed Tallulah Falls 64-38 that final. Hannah Grogan scored 30 for the Lady Lions. And then they had a narrow loss in the semifinals, 43-41 to George Walton Academy. Grogan scored 16. And like their male counterparts, the Lady Lions of Lakeview await the private school power rankings for their state tournament status. Oh, before we leave basketball, let me tell you that the East Hall 8th grade boys basketball team won the county championship, beating C.W. Davis for the title. Our state championship report comes up in just a moment. You've decided it's time to get in shape. Now let Falcon Parkway Fitness in Flowery Branch help you achieve your goal. Open since 2000, Falcon Parkway Fitness features free weights, exercise machines, group fitness classes, as well as personal training in a fun family environment with child care, lockers, showers, and 24-hour access. Come by for a free consultation with a certified personal trainer. And just next door, check out Optimum Body Care Day Spa with massage, facials, and waxing, or K. Michael Salon for hair and nail care. Falcon Parkway Fitness is your hometown family gym, located in Flowery Branch, right behind the public shopping center. Gary Glenn, Hall County Sports here. Swimming and wrestling state championships in this segment. And the state swim meet at Georgia Tech. Gold came back to Hall County as Ty Powers of North Hall and Colin Monahan of Gainesville both won state titles. Monahan set a new state record of 55.03 seconds in defending his 100-yard breaststroke title, while also earning a silver medal in the 200-yard individual medley. He swam that in 149.1, and both of those times earning him automatic All-American status. Powers also got in on the All-American honors as he repeated his 50-yard freestyle champ in 20.47, and he was a runner-up in the 100 free in 45.22, an All-American time and only 1/10 of a second behind the winner. Now, Ty's brother Paul Powers swims for Michigan these days, and next up for Ty, he's going to be swimming at Tennessee after high school, and we talked about that at the recent FCA signing event at Longstreet Cafe.
Tennessee is just a very great school in general. They got great facilities, great coaches, a great team.
The goal of the Olympics one day, how cool would that be?
That'd be the greatest accomplishment of my life, I feel.
All right, thank you very much, Ty.
Thank you.
All right, going to Tennessee. Now, team-wise at the state swim meet, the Gainesville boys finished 14th overall, highest among the area male teams. The North Hall girls finished 15th overall, the highest finish for our local girls teams in the combined 1 to 5A classification. That's right, all of those classifications from single A to 5A swim against one another. Now, the Chester T boys finished 15th as well, led by Tristan Taylor, second in the 100 backstroke and fourth in the 200 IM. His times of 50.21 and 151.38 are noted as All-America consideration times. Riverside, by the way, 17th, and North Hall's boys 20th in the swimming state championships. Okay, let's go to wrestling now. And going into the traditional state wrestling tournament, Gainesville and Hall County sent a number of guys out of their respective sectional meets, with area champs Michael Carew of North Hall winning in AAA at 145, and as well as West Hall's Elliott Rayford taking the 4A sectional title at 160 pounds. Both of those young men were runners-up at last year's state tournament. Nick Whitmire of North Hall at 160, Isaiah Hale at 170 were sectional runners-up, along with Chesterton's 138-pounder Marvin Cunningham and 145-pounder Matthew McClellan. In Class AA, Nick Fernandez of Riverside finished second at sectionals. Now, at the state meet itself in Macon, a number of our local guys actually made the semifinals. In 5A, Flowery Branch's Brady Dyer at 145 pounds and Gainesville's Cash Jones at 220 made the semis. In 4A, North Hall's Michael Carew at 145, Isaiah Hale at 170, and Darian Ingram at 195 all made the semis, along with Chester T's Marvin Cunningham at 138, Matthew McClellan at 145, and in AAA, West Hall's 160-pounder Elliott Rayford just pinned his way into the semifinals, but your work's not done. Now, if you win in the semifinals, you can finish no lower than second, but if you lose in the semis, the best you can do is third. So let me tell you what happened when the wrestlers got to the semis. Now, in AA, Riverside's Nick Fernandez did make the semis, and he won, and he wound up wrestling for the 160-pound title, but he wound up second overall. But also during the title matches, West Hall's Rayford claimed the Class AAA 160-pound championship with a 9-1 victory over Spencer's Joshua Sampson. Vindication after finishing second last season. It was also sweet for North Hall's Carew at 145. After Michael was a runner-up last season, he also won a tough match, 6-3 over Gilmer's William Gudger. Both Rayford and Carew placed second last year, as I said. And earlier this season, I had talked to both wrestlers about wrestling again for the state title this time around.
We just got to keep working, and whatever happens, happens. If I work harder than everybody else, it should come my way.
That's what I've been training for this whole year. It'd mean the world to me, but I mean, I'm going after it, and it's what I want, so I'm going to go get it.
Now, we hope to have more with our state champions on next week's show. Let me tell you how the rest of it all shook out with our local guys. In AAA, West Hall's Jesse Bridgewater was fifth at 132 pounds. In 4A, Chester T's Cunningham, McClellan, and Jamie Arroyo all finished third in their respective weight classes at 138, 145, and 182. Johnson's Freitas Velasquez of the Knights finished third at 160 pounds in 4A. And North Hall's Carew, as I said, obviously he was first, but at 170, Isaiah Hale wound up in third place. In 5A, Flowery Branch's Ronnie Link at 120 was fourth, Dyer was fifth at 145, and Gainesville's Jones was fifth at 220. In the team championships, another outstanding effort for the Jefferson Dragons, coached by former Johnson coach Doug Thurman. Now, the Dragons earlier this season won their 14th straight duals meet state wrestling championship. This one was their 15th straight traditional title. Can you say dynasty? Before we leave wrestling, let me tell you that at the middle school level, North Hall's middle school wrestlers won the region, and they took third at their state meet. We head back to the gym when we return. We're back. I'm Gary Glenn. This is Hall County Sports. Now, when Dawsonville's Charity Witt decided to try her hand at competitive powerlifting, it came at the urging of her boyfriend, Georgia's Strongest Man winner, Landon Jameson, whom we've had on this show. It also came with a personal desire to get stronger, but she had no idea the type of success she would have in her first meet ever, Saturday's Iron Beast Invitational at the Iron Beast Gym in Gainesville. Not only did she set personal records, but when the totals were posted and the lifting scores calculated, she'd won out over everybody else for full power best lifter. The first time, we understand, the first time in the history of the American Powerlifting Committee that a female lifter had done that. On the way to the title in the junior women's 75 kilogram, 165.35 pound raw unequipped class, Witt posted a squat of 280 pounds, a bench press of 170, and an amazing deadlift of 345 for an impressive total of 795 pounds. Okay, Charity, first powerlifting meet ever, and you wind up setting the precedent for women in the history of the APC by winning a Best Lifter trophy. Pretty good day.
Yeah, it was not what I expected.
What were you expecting?
I just expected to come here and lift, but I didn't expect any trophies or anything like that.
So what got you started in this? I mean, you're a really pretty girl, and a lot of people are going to say, you know, she's kind of a girly girl, but I mean, this is, you're really strong.
Honestly, I just started lifting because I liked being strong. I didn't really do it for looks. I like lifting things, so that's why I came to Iron Beast.
What has it meant to be around amongst all of these guys? They kind of treat you like one of the boys, don't they, a lot of ways?
It motivates me because Landon's always like pushing my weight up. And
Landon Jameson,
yeah.
Strongest man in Georgia, right?
Yeah. He's always like pushing my weight up, making sure that I lift more than what I think I can. So he took care of all my numbers today.
So this is your first?
This is my first.
Did you like it?
I did. It was fun.
What did you like the best about this?
Just the adrenaline. It got me excited, so I felt like I could lift more.
What's the best thing that you found out about weightlifting in general, powerlifting in particular?
It's not really honestly what you think you can do. It's you surprise yourself constantly.
Well, this is your first one. It's not going to be your last one, is it?
No. Got several more this year.
All right, congratulations, Charity.
Thank you.
Other local winners in the meet included Gainesville's Jordan Clark in the junior men's 82.5 kilogram or 181.88 pound class with a squat of 360, a bench of 215, a deadlift of 390 pounds, and a total of 965. Murrayville's Aaron Finks in the junior men's 90 kilogram or 198.41 pound class, 198.41 pounds, had a squat of 345, a bench of 305, a deadlift of 455, and a total of 1,105 pounds. And Gainesville's John Dunnigan in the Masters men's 49-year-old 125 kilogram or 275.58 pound class. He had a squat of 365, a bench of 290, a deadlift of 345, and a total of 1,015. Now, all of the full power competitors did compete raw. Dunnigan had the heaviest squat of the day, by the way, while Finks bench press and deadlift tops in the full power categories in those classes. All-time equipped bench press champion in the 60 kilo, 132.28 pound class, Lumpkin County graduate Eric Head, who's now living in Swanee. He's training in raw full power, and he performed as an exhibition lifter just to get a kind of feel of things. At a body weight of 140, Head had a good total of 1,070 pounds, had a squat of 350, a bench of 370, and a deadlift of 350 there. In the bench-only category, a number of Georgia Iron Dog team members came home with gold. Lifting raw, James Houston of Jefferson led the way with his press of 320 in the Submasters 100 kilogram class. That's about 220.5 pounds on the weight class. Winterville's Andy Williamson in the 110 kilogram or 242.51 pound class pressed 315 in the Masters men's 45-49 age group. And Flowery Branch's 73-year-old Zach Layfield lifted 180 pounds to win the 70 to 74-year-old 82.5 kilogram class at a body weight of around 167. Among equipped lifters, Gainesville's George Bradley, credited with 205 to take the medal in the 67.5 kilogram or 148.81 pound body weight class. He's lifting in the Masters men's 55-59 age group. And I lifted in the Masters men's 60 to 64-year-old 100 kilo group at a body weight of just under 201 pounds. Had the heaviest equipped bench press of the day, opened at 315, and then pushed 370 to take the title in the 220-pound division. and I fell short of the lockout when I attempted 390 on my third lift. Just got kind of out of the groove, and that happens sometimes when you lift with gear. Went back over my face. Now, some of you lifters will know what I'm talking about when I talk about that. And then when it's over my face, I'm trying to do a nose breaker with 390 pounds, and that just ain't going to happen. It's been a while since I competed in a bench press shirt, and just wanted to see how it'd go. Yeah, maybe next time I lift equipped, I'll do better. Decent start to the year. But let me tell you this now. We are all really proud of Charity. She gets a lot of ribbon and a lot of coaching from the guys in the gym, from Landon and the rest of the guys. And she did great. She is as pretty as a model and strong as a bull, and that's a unique combination to be sure. Now, the American Powerlifting Committee will host the APC State Powerlifting Meet in Athens on March 28th. I'll wrap it up when Hall County Sports concludes after this timeout.
There are moments in life that you wish would last forever. Dreams that really do come true. Treasures worth protecting. And a future to prepare for. Turner Wood & Smith is with you every step of the way. Established in the Gainesville area in 1905. Turner Wood & Smith has become Northeast Georgia's largest independent insurance agency by offering professional service at competitive prices. Turner Wood & Smith, insuring your future since 1905.
I'm Gary Glenn, Hall County Sports. Now, a few other highlights from the time since we have been away doing the Long Street Show last week. Not only did the number 5 nationally ranked Brenau University Golden Tigers swimming team capture the Appalachian Swimming Conference title, but Brenau head swim coach Blair Bachman won Conference Coach of the Year honors for the 4th time consecutively. All of that happening up in Christiansburg, Virginia over the weekend. Now, you heard Blair talk about going for that championship here on this show just a few weeks ago. The Tigers were led by conference-declared Swimmer of the Meet performance by sophomore All-American Courtney Hayward of Townsville, Australia. The Tigers will now travel to the Oklahoma City tournament in the first week in March, and that'll be the 2015 NAIA National Finals. Hayward set the Tigers on the right path by winning all 3 of her individual events and setting 2 new meet conference records. Won the 500-yard freestyle in 5 minutes, 0.56 seconds, and the 400-yard individual medley in 4:31.82. She also won the 1650 freestyle in 17:11 seconds there, 17 minutes, 11 seconds. Mary Catherine Jabia, a junior from Slidell, Louisiana, also had 3 wins in that meet. Congratulations to the Golden Tigers. Believe it or not, high school soccer season is already underway. A couple of the best performances of last week were turned in by Liz Fisher, who scored 4 goals in the Gainesville girls' 8-1 win over Central Gwinnett, and by Mara Wheat, who had a hat trick and 1 assist in the Flowery Branch girls' 9-0 win over Jackson County. In riflery, Riverside Military Academy beat White County 1,111 points to 1,061, led in scoring by Do Yoon Kim with 285 points. And Riverside then lost to Gainesville High School locally, 1,134 to 1,113. Yu Chen Wang had 283 points for RMA in that one. Flowery Branch fencers took home some medals at a recent tournament that held at the University of North Georgia's Gainesville campus. That included some champions, Zach Richards, who took gold in men's épée and a bronze in men's foil, as well as Eva Alabiso, gold in women's saber. Well, it was not a good day for Gainesville 2 Sports standout Luke Maddox recently. He was kicked off the basketball team after being arrested at school for possession of marijuana. The Gainesville Times also reports he's no longer listed on the baseball roster. He had signed a baseball scholarship with Ole Miss, and it is not known how all of this might affect that. As my daddy used to say, that's why they call it dope. Although, to be fair now, at this time he is only accused of this and not convicted of anything, but also accused and now indicted on a rape charge, former Gainesville and Tennessee linebacker A.J. Johnson. We'll end on a little bit of a happier note. There is a 5K race at Lanier Tech coming up on February the 28th. Now, this race on the 28th will benefit the General Scholarship Fund, and that's scheduled to start at 8:30. That's our show for this week. I'm Gary Glenn. Join us next week right here for more Hall County Sports. Hall County Sports is also brought to you in part by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals, and remember, when you go green Ford. By Turner Wood & Smith, serving the insurance needs of our area for over 100 years. And by McKellar Road United Methodist Church on McKellar Road in Oakwood, loving Christ, loving people, and helping people love Christ.